Oh shit, you're already back?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Dumbass. Why would you continue watching this shit? Anyway, hello audioholics, or what's left of you. Welcome back to part 3 of the top 30 pop songs according to Billboard of
Bill.
2020. So, here we are, number 10. These are the 10 most popular songs of 2020 in this video.
So excited to talk about this one because I know I said in the last video that Dance Monkey might be my most hated song on this entire list. This song kind of gives that one a run for its money, maybe even beats it. Someone You Loved by Louis Capaldi. You thought I got mad in the last Louis Capaldi song? Fuck this song. It's complete hot garbage. It's honestly impressive, frankly, just how many things I hate about this song. I hate the chord progression. I hate the piano. I hate the vocals, probably most of all. I hate the lyrics. I hate the fucking production. It's all trash. There's not a single part of this song that does not suck an impressive amount of donkey balls. It's all terrible. Everything about it is terrible. You know, the chord progression is so generic. The piano, I mean, is it even there? You cannot even pay attention to it. The vocals, I mean, is it even really vocals? He's just screaming everything. He ain't singing. I fucking hate the lyrics. You know, you want to talk some absolutely goddamn trash lyrics? Listen to some of this shit. The production sucks, even for a pop song. It's terrible. That's all I got to say about it. If you want a more in-depth takedown of this song, just go watch the Todd in the Shadows video on it. He'll do it better than I ever could.
Did he review it?
Yeah,
I
and
don't
he
remember
made
that.
the song.
Was this on the top 10 list? Top
I
10 worst songs?
don't remember.
I
Probably.
don't remember him actually doing a video on it.
He did though, and he fucking hated it.
I
And I
didn't
still
see
think
that
I
on the
hate it
list
more than he
anywhere.
did.
Anyway. So I don't like this song either, but compared to him, I might come off as defending it. But anyway, so I said in one of the earlier videos that he at least made me want to listen to more of his work. Well, I did.
Now,
Kind of sucks. Here's the thing, and here is where I think we are going to disagree the most. I think it sucks because it's boring, and that is a legitimate reason for a song to be bad. Of course, the cardinal sin of any pop song especially, is for it to be boring and unmemorable. That being said, I don't understand how it warrants this absolutely in disgust reaction saying it's the worst song ever or the worst song even on this list. Like, it sounds like there are definitely flaws with it. It basically sounds like the first thing you learn on piano before you learn Walking in Memphis. The lyrics and
put it
the
this way, I
lyrics, I
would
guess,
rather
are
listen to the Shags on repeat for an hour.
wow, it is not that bad, Tyler. That is
It really
hyperbole.
is.
It is not that bad. I mean, the lyrics, I guess, are the highlight, but don't really save the song. Also, his voice, again, while very flawed, is very passionate and clearly gives more of a shit than someone like Justin Bieber, for example. And yeah, okay, fine. He yells everything he says. Bitch, I listen to U2 unironically, and they are one of my favorite bands of all time.
Okay, but
Another favorite band of all time, Coldplay. Another favorite band of all time. Fucking like so many, like John Legend, Sam Smith. I don't really like Sam Smith, but it's a good comparison. Um, I guess another good comparison was who did that one Blurred Lines song? I don't like him, but like he's not a bad singer.
But just like listen to the chorus in this song. Like listen to his voice crack and how like terribly he's singing the notes and just
You're just a perfectionist.
garbage. I listen to Dream Theater, bro. I
Yeah,
am more
you're
of
a
a perfectionist.
perfectionist.
James LeBrie is not that good of a singer anymore. If you
Okay,
listen
but
to
he
modern Dream
was.
Theater, you're not listening to good vocals.
Okay, but like every other aspect of it is good. So like that like actually further proves my point. You listen to pretentious ass music for pretentious ass people like Dream Theater. Nothing wrong with that, but you have to take imperfections with a grain of salt.
Okay,
And
but
he
I
like
also listen to Johnny Cash and Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan.
first of all, don't you dare say Johnny Cash is a bad singer or even imply that. He is a god among men and he will forever rest in
He
power.
he has a good voice. He is not a good singer.
Yes, he is. Yes,
No,
he
he isn't.
is. I am
He
no,
basically just
I
talked
am
all of his songs.
I am just high key triggered. I am high key triggered right now. Keep a close watch. I can't even do it. He hits
He's not.
registers that I didn't even know were possible to hit.
He's just basically talking through most of his songs. Like that's barely singing.
Bitch, fucking you are barely singing. Get the fuck out of here. I'm doing this rest of this video by myself. I'm gonna fucking
You're
mute
right.
you
You're
and your
right. I'm
whore
singing
mouth.
like Johnny Cash right now.
Shut your whore ass mouth. See,
And I
this is why.
keep in mind I like
Gentlemen,
Johnny Cash. So
ge- ladies and gentlemen, what we are witnessing is a man who can't even accept that Johnny Cash is a good vocalist. Why are
I
we
didn't say he
taking
wasn't a good
music?
vocalist. I said he
Why? No,
wasn't
no,
a good
no, no, no.
singer.
Or fine, he's not a good singer. So how are we meant to take musical advice from this clear charlatan of a human being? Absolutely despicable. I think he should never be allowed to listen to music again. I think we should
You
take
liked
away.
Dance Monkey. I don't want to hear it.
I'm not. I didn't say the vocals were good. You're, and I'm not saying the vocals are good on Louis Capaldi either. I'm saying they're. I'm saying it's passionate. So fine, maybe I'll say the same thing that you said about Johnny Cash. He's not a good singer. He's a good vocalist. He's
Oh, fuck
passionate.
you. You're gonna
He's
put him on
passionate.
the same level as Johnny Cash.
I'm putting him on the same level that you put Johnny Cash on.
No, even I wouldn't go that far. Johnny Cash is way fucking better than Louis Capaldi any day of the week.
He fucking is,
No
but still.
passion, dude. I don't know what you're hearing.
That is passion. That is like belting. This is the guy who has a voice of somebody who has clearly felt pain. He has clearly been through hell and back. I don't know if he has in real life.
5,000 bucks says he's never even been through a breakup. He's the most insincere fucking fuck on this list.
I look, I don't know if I don't know what he's been through. I don't know anything about the guy. I've never done any research on him. I don't even know what he looks like, and I wouldn't recognize him on TV
Neither
if he
do
did an
I.
interview.
I'm just saying, like, based
But
on his music, he comes off as Good Charlotte or Simple Plan.
I think
People
he
who have
does
never been through what they're talking about.
definitely lyrically he does, but I think vocal wise, I think if he would have sung a better song, it would have saved it. Again, that's why I'm gonna say I go back to I'm not really defending the song. I just don't think it leaves enough of an impact to have that level of disgust towards it. I don't think it's bad enough to really be
You
offensive.
you know what does though? Johnny
What?
Cash is singing.
And moving swiftly along to number 9 before he fucking runs his whore mouth more and I have to wash it out with that same soap from A Christmas Story.
I'm just trying to trick
Uh,
him at this point. The
well, it's
Bones
fucking
by
working.
Aaron Moore.
You can't fucking diss a legend like Johnny Cash. He is the best vocalist of all time. One
No,
of them, anyway.
okay, yeah, one of them, but not the best. Like,
One of them.
listen,
Like,
I respect Johnny Cash, but like, even in songs like "Hurt," I would never sit here and say he's one of the best singers of all
he
time.
literally did that, like, just before he died. You can't use that as a comparison.
Well, even in his best songs, like in his golden age, I still wouldn't say that. Like, are you really going to sit here and put him on the same level as people with the pipes of Freddie Mercury or like, you know,
Yes, but
any
for
of
a
those?
different reason.
I just don't think he has the technique. He doesn't have the
Like if we're
range.
okay,
He
but
doesn't have the substance.
if we're going by like songs he did just before he died, then like Dio sucks because he did Heaven and Hell, worst
Okay, but
vocalist of
that's
all
a good
time.
album. I
No, it's
genuinely
not. But
think
first
that's
of
one of
all,
his best vocal performances.
what? He sounded like he was 10 minutes away from death because he was 10 minutes away from death.
Yeah, and that made him sound better. It made him more passionate since you love passion so much.
You're a fucking idiot, dude.
No, you.
You stink.
You stank.
You stink, and Christina probably stinks too.
Probably. All
Anyway,
right. She's still awake. Um, so moving on from her complaining, that's all she does.
yeah. Marin Morris.
I don't know. I'm not huge on this. I can definitely see why people enjoy it, but the chorus isn't really my thing, and I don't really like her voice. Also, I could do without snapping in pop songs going forward. It's overdone, and I don't like it. I don't think it adds to the song. Get rid of it. Sick of it. And you know what? Do that
Yeah.
with choirs too. I'm sick of that.
Okay, no, choirs will never go out of style.
Yes, they will. They're out of
No, they
style
won't.
now, in my
No, they
opinion.
aren't.
I'm so sick of hearing choirs in
How
pop songs.
can you? Choirs are like one of those things. It's like choirs to people who like pop music are like guitar solos to people who like metal. It pisses everybody else off, but the people who like that genre like it. I like metal, but I still fucking hate guitar solos most of the time.
That's because you suck.
No, it's because it takes away from the song and it's like six
No, it
minutes of
doesn't.
fucking
It
filler.
adds to the song.
No, it doesn't. It's filler.
It's not
It's
filler.
filler. Fucking fucking
It's
Leonard
improvisation.
Skinner
People have
like
done since the beginning of music.
okay, yeah, it's okay, fine. So from the beginning of music, it's been filler, and from the beginning of music, we've had choirs.
Literally, classical music is just solos
Well, okay,
interceded by
fine.
musical themes, which
Okay,
are
fine,
chorus.
fine, fine. It's instrumental, but that's an instrumental that at least has a purpose for existing other than just pure wankery.
Well, some guitar solos are pure wankery, some aren't. Sit here and tell me the guitar solo from like, oh, I don't know, what's a good example? Heaven Tonight is pure wankery. You can suck a
Heaven
cock if you
Tonight,
say that.
Heaven Tonight by Cheap Trick.
No. By Eric Clapton?
Oh, Wonderful Tonight. Was
That's
there
what
a
I meant.
solo in that?
Yeah, in the very beginning. Or how about
That's just the
beginning?
riff.
No, that's a solo. That's one of the first solos you learn.
That's a riff. Anyway,
That's a solo.
um, anyway, on to my thoughts. By the way, you didn't even say the name of the song, so it's called The Bones, which stupid fucking
Who
name.
cares? It's a
Objectively not bad. I can at least understand why it got as big as it did, but
yeah, it's
I've
fully
heard
horrible.
so many songs like this by Sia in 2010.
True.
As a throwback to that time and artists like Sia, Kelly Clarkson, and some older Beyonce, you could do a lot worse, but you could do a lot better.
So on to another song I really don't like.
Here's the dead
Uh,
horse you've all
like
been
this
waiting
song.
for.
Like this song. Oh no. Memories by Maroon 5. Okay, so there are a lot of problems with this song. It's overly repetitive. The instrumentals are generic. Adam's performance is probably what pisses me off the most. He sounds drunk and bored on this track, but he sounds drunk and bored on every track he makes these days. I mean, seriously, is this fucker even trying anymore? I mean, it's been years since I've heard a genuine performance from this dude. And I think even back then his music sucked, but at least he was trying. Also, the melody itself rips off a classical piece. You can't even argue it's creative. fuck this song, fuck Maroon 5. I'm done with Adam Levine. I'm just done. I can't even muster enough hate for Maroon 5 anymore. I'm all out of it because they're just a band that deserves to die but never seems to want to. There is no reason songs like this should chart. This is not memorable. This is not even good. How did Girls Like You chart? That song was just what? It's baffling.
So, yeah, somebody saw the Paco Bell rant because I guarantee he wasn't inspired by the actual Paco Bell's Canon song. He was inspired by that one dude from Penn State who did the Paco Bell rant. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's old as fuck YouTube. Look it up. Anyway, it is not the worst thing from this band, but that's not really saying much. I'm one of those people who doesn't even like Maroon 5's classic period. I mean, yeah, fine, I'll listen to She Will Be Loved sometimes, just kind of as a guilty pleasure, I guess. Mainly because I grew up with it, but I don't know. Like, here's the biggest problem I have with the song. I don't know if they're reflecting back on their career or talking about some other person from their past. I don't know.
Okay,
The
here's
entire
another thing about
song, the
Maroon
entire
5 I hate.
song is just schizophrenic.
Logan, it's not a band anymore. Everybody's gone but Adam Levine. It's not a band anymore. It's a fucking solo project. He just refuses to change the name.
I mean, yeah, it's Maroon 5, I would say, is one of those bands that it's gotten so big that they're basically a brand, not a band.
Yeah.
And look, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't hate this. Now that's not really saying much, again, because I'm comparing it to other Maroon 5 songs. This isn't Animals or Payphone or
I just wish they would die, man. I just
yeah,
wish they would die.
I mean,
I look
I don't know. I
forward
guess I
to
don't
the
really
day that
have
Adam Levine overdoses and dies, so I don't have to hear any more of his fucking music.
like I guess I like who's making you listen to it?
The radio.
Why do you listen again? I beg the question. Why
Because
do
I
you listen to the
work, and I
radio?
work in places where they force you to listen to the radio.
Hmm. You're a dumbass. You have a job. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm just so sick of, even people who like Maroon 5 have got to be sick of Maroon 5 at this point. They've been around for so long and they release new
look,
songs every year that
the
get
reason
overplayed.
Maroon 5 continues to exist is because purely of Adam Levine and his hotness.
I know. And that's another thing I
They're a
hate
boy
about
band at this point.
it. I just want them to be gone. I don't have to listen to new Maroon 5 anymore. All right. Next song, Life is Good by
I wish
Future and
yeah,
Drake.
like I kind of wish Adam Levine would just get really fat and blumpy like fucking Kelly Clarkson did a while ago.
Ooh, risque. So, about Life is Good. This song is really, really, really bad. My God, I was honestly shocked by how bad it was. Terrible beat, terrible lyrics, terrible performance.
Is this worse than Dance Monkey or that other song by Louis
I mean, I don't even
Capaldi?
know. Maybe there's just nothing redeeming here. It's just astonishingly bad. Like, I don't like Future, I don't like Drake, but I did not expect something this bad out of them. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. I did not go into this song thinking it was going to be a great song, but I didn't expect it to be just as bad as it was. I thought it was really, really bad.
So I didn't go into this with much expectation because I didn't really listen to Drake, and I've only listened to like a handful of songs by Future. But I'm first of all, I'm surprised both of these people don't have more entries on this list. Also, no BTS whatsoever on this list.
Yeah, isn't
That
that
really
interesting?
surprises
They're
me.
such a big band.
Yeah, exactly. And like most of the people on these lists are people that did not exist in the last decade. They are brand new people. Now, that might be for better or for worse, because a lot of them are just TikTok famous. But I think Drake is one of the people that has existed for quite a while.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe it's because I didn't really listen to this that closely, but I said it was all right. I like the beat. The lyrics are decent. It's better than a lot of the future wannabes that we've had on the list, like Arizona Zerpola or
Honestly,
whatever.
I thought that was better.
No, no,
Really good.
that is offensive to me, honestly. I just love how it transitions into a completely different song when Future's part comes in. Like, I don't know if I wrote that ironically or not, because like I'm still trying to debate that myself. Do I like that just do I like that completely BS terrible transition ironically or not?
They must have been inspired by Johnny Cash.
I guess both parts work pretty well. Nothing special, and it doesn't really have that memorability of something like Dab or Bad and Bougie or previous songs from both artists, but
Hey, kind of like
it's
Johnny
all
Cash also.
right. Okay, the joke's getting old.
Good. I hope it pisses you off.
I hope it dies like Johnny Cash.
uh,
Anyway, no,
anyway,
but
back to Johnny Cash. No.
no, like yeah, I don't remember anything too awful about it. It's just it's another one of those songs that just struck me as painfully generic and maybe excuse me, maybe just a little bit I guess like maybe decent for TikTok, but
Meh.
I wouldn't even go that far. It's big because of the name power behind it, not because of TikTok. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't really go on TikTok, to say the least. I
All right.
live
So
vicariously through somebody who does, but
let's move on to the next one. Harry Styles, Adore You.
what
This
is
is
your
a
opinion
big
on this?
improvement on the other Harry Styles song from this list. Much better written, and the chorus is a legitimate earworm. One of the few songs here that I was actually bobbing my head to a little bit. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a fun time. Probably wouldn't return to it. Sorry. Just not huge on Harry Styles. I respect him for what he does. It's just not my jam.
Um, I I probably would listen to it a couple times, and I know that because I have listened to it a couple times. I've tried to get into the new album he did. I actually haven't listened to it the full way, believe it or not, despite all the praise I've given Harry Styles in the past. Um, Mainly, I just don't think the entire album is as good as the first one, but it takes a completely different tone. The tone of the first album was very somber. This seems almost as a contrast to not only that album, but 2020 itself. Um, I love this song. Again, I am a genuine fan of Harry Styles ever since his first album. This album has a much more upbeat feel overall, and it just feels pleasant as a whole. It just like he said, it makes me want to bob my head. When I listen to the song, I feel like everything is good in the world. It's sunshiny and happy in a positive way, which is something that can be good or bad depending on how it's done. Harry Styles, I think, does it well.
All right, moving on to Rockstar by DaBaby and Roddy Ricch. Yeah, this is just a silly song. I mean, oh,
The
look.
baby.
Look at
The
how much of
baby.
a thug I am because classic rockers like Mick Jagger were well known for pulling guns on the police. I mean, like I
I
said,
mean,
this song is just
look
silly.
at Phil Spector. I mean, come on.
This is just glorification of being a thug. That's what this is. It's, oh look, I'm a rock star because I'm a fucking criminal. That's, I just don't like that because that's not what rock stars were. They were not thugs. They were not just
I mean,
criminals.
shit, like 6ix9ine, like he did all of the terrible shit he did. He didn't try to compare himself to fucking like John Lennon or something. Actually,
Yeah.
John Lennon was a pretty terrible person as well, but let's not get into that.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a bad comparison. I don't understand what it is with all of these fucking rappers saying that they're the new rock stars or whatever. It's not even remotely comparable.
I mean,
No, it's not just them.
in terms of popularity, I say it's comparable.
Maybe, but not in behavior or actions. And that's what they're talking about. They're talking about, like, oh, we behave just like rock stars. No, you fucking don't. Rock
I
stars
I
cared
would
about the
say
music, the
I would
booze, the
say
drugs.
like
They did not care about pulling guns on the police.
I don't think they so I actually didn't write much for this, so I'll just kind of debate you real quick. Literally all I wrote was just go back to pretending to be Future. You were better that way. Anyway, I
I do think the
think
hook in this song is kind of catchy, and I'll admit, after listening to the song, it was stuck in my head a bit. But that goes back to TikTok fever. The only good part of it is that tiny little bit where it's catchy.
I would say that like just on the idea, like they aren't exactly the same comparing a rapper to a rock star, but they both have larger than life personas. They both they both have a tendency to like, pull, you know, badass, if you want to call it that, stunts, like a rock star will like get pissed off, like will get pissed at a bar and fuck any woman that walks and say cunt flap on British television and criticize Margaret Thatcher. But
You're just like defending your own point and arguing it at the same time. You're like, these things are not that different. Now let me explain how different they are.
but like they like I'm saying like they have like this sort of badass quote unquote persona.
So
You know
what?
what I mean? Like I think it's comparable in the terms that they are the new rock stars because they are now what's trendy and cool, and they have larger than life personas, and they roll around in the expensive sports cars and get shit faced at bars and do a whole bunch of illegal shit that if anybody caught them they would go to jail in a heartbeat, but they aren't because they're rich. Well,
I,
that
I
didn't
don't know.
stop
I
6 9
don't.
I
I just
guess.
don't see the comparison. Like, yeah, they're acting badass, but I mean, so did Tupac. Is Tupac a rock star?
Probably yes.
No, it's just not comparable. Like, just because somebody acts okay,
Like okay,
is
not a
is
rock
Madonna
star.
a rock star?
So I think we have different perceptions of a rock star. And is rock does Madonna count as rock and roll? Probably not. I think she's a pop artist. But I think she has I think what the point he might be making here, and I'm not going to delve into this too long, but I think the point he's making here is rock stars were famous for having that larger than life personality. You could like you could turn on the television or radio at any given point in the 1960s and hear about how like John Lennon was saying the Beatles were bigger than Jesus, or Rolling Stones, you know, were performing satanic acts on stage or something, or how like something like that. They're just bad boys of rock and roll. It's and really in the 80s, I mean, you had acts like Motley Crue and Aerosmith who were again the bad boys of rock and roll.
I guess to some extent you have a point, but that's definitely not what they're arguing in this song at all. Read the lyrics.
Okay, well, again, I didn't really listen to it that closely. Let's go to the next song.
All right, Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa. I actually really like this song. I've always enjoyed what I've heard from Dua Lipa. I really like her influences, the sort of disco thing that she does. It makes her unique in the pop world, makes her stand out a bit. And this song in particular is really catchy and memorable. Liked this one a lot.
I actually had to look up in the list because I thought we already covered that. No, it's Say So. The names are really similar. Um,
Don't Start Now and Say So.
I don't know. Like, anyway, I just think it's boring, non offensive to the ears, exists well enough, but the fact is that this is number 5 says a
Four.
lot about this. 4. Sorry, I like messed up the list. Says a lot about this year as a whole. It's just like the Pop Tarts were just fucked this year.
Speaking of, I don't really have much to say about this one. The Box by Roddy Ricch. It's got a really annoying beat. It's so fucking annoying. And the song's pretty whack. That's about all I got to say about it.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. Again, prefer back to my other comments about the other future wannabes. Also, what you need to when you need to use auto tune, and even after running it through said software and effects, you still sound like complete and utter shit. I think it says a lot about the longevity effects of his the long effects of his richness. Lyrics are some of the worst I heard on this list. He called himself a 2020 presidential candidate. Like,
Maybe he's right.
I
Knowing
don't know, maybe we should have voted for Roddy Rich. Rich.
would have been probably better than Biden. Everybody,
Yeah,
let's
well,
legalize everyone having a free Ferrari, like fucking Vermin Supreme.
yes.
Everybody gets a free.
Nah, but like this is just I guess this kind of like peters on being so bad it's funny, but like it's still just really bad.
All right, so swiftly moving on to the second and first pop songs, end of the year 2020, starting with Circles by Post Malone. Now, Post Malone is a pop star I always really enjoyed, and this is a really, really good song. Really enjoyable beat slash instrumentals, really well done chorus and melodies in the song. And, he's putting in a really good performance. This is off a really good album. Really good song. Something I would easily come back to. Not my favorite by Post Malone, but I can definitely see why it is where it is. And it deserves to be there.
Um so Post Malone, I don't know if I really like his music. I don't really like that style personally, but he is one of the more interesting people. Um I like following him. He's sort of like Justin Bieber, but not a complete and utter train wreck. Um like I enjoy seeing he's always so full of variety. And like for example, Circles isn't even a fucking rap song, I don't think. Not that I necessarily object to him being experimental with different forms of music. I mean, again, I wish Billie Eilish would do more of that, but it's pretty interesting. The song itself is pretty standard indie pop, not really much of a hook, and doesn't leave that big of an impact. I love this style of music, don't get me wrong. I love indie pop. I mean, it almost kind of has like a shoegaze sound to it, sort of like Cigarettes After Sex, which is another one of my favorite bands. And I like that it is getting more mainstream attention, but I don't think Post, at least with this song, is giving it the justice it deserves. That being said, Post Malone for me is again, the most interesting pop artist in a very long time. And I can't wait to see what he does in 2021. I just won't be listening to this song. Maybe I need to listen to more of his stuff to truly get hooked on him. Maybe I could be, but more so, I just like the journey more so than the destination.
All right, and that brings us to the number one pop song of 2020. I'm like really fucking tired at this point. We've been doing this for a long
I
time.
can tell.
We got Blinding Lights by The Weeknd or The Weekend, whatever. Again, I gotta say, this is actually a really good song. I like it way more than the other Weekend song on this list. It's a very, very well done song. And I'd say, like, just as my overall thoughts on the list, easily the best song here is Circles by Post Malone, but this is a very close second for me. And just for the record, it is utter fucking bullshit that Justin Bieber's Yummy got nominated for a Grammy and The Weeknd did not get shit. That is crazy that you can make number one of the year and not get shit. Meanwhile, a guy who sang about baby like that yummy, yummy gets a Grammy for it.
I mean, that wouldn't even be as so offensive if he actually didn't think it was serious.
I just, I should be
Anyway,
done with the Grammys. I really should after that shit.
I didn't watch them to begin with. I don't know what your problem is.
Oh, I don't watch them, but I do pay attention to them for some fucking reason.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe I like to torture myself.
Okay. Like, I don't even watch the
I mean, I
Oscars
talk to
anymore.
you, so. Oh, get wrecked.
Anyway, yeah, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. I actually watched this on YouTube, and the top comment basically said, "This sounds like the past, the present, and the future all at the same time." Yeah, pretty much. This definitely deserves to be the most popular song of 2020. Admittedly, I am a bit biased since it is new wave influenced, and you could pretty much record Tears for Fears collectively shitting into a jar, and I would probably still listen to it. But this is also a very forward thinking song by a band that is clearly for forward thinking, but also isn't afraid to wear their influences on their sleeve while doing something unique to the entire shirt. I just think that if we can see more of this weekend, again, like I said, and like that one commenter said, it combines the past, present, and the future all in one song. You just it's like you just took ecstasy and experienced all the days at once. It's like you've experienced every weekend from the 80s to now, and possibly some weekends in 2025. But
2077.
2787. Cyberpunk 2077. Anyway,
That was the joke. Yeah. Okay, go
yeah.
on.
Uh no, like I think it's interesting. And there are two songs that I have on my playlist. And one that I just listen to enough to not even need to listen to put it on my playlist. It's Adore You by Harry Styles. I listen to Harry Styles stuff in the context of an album, so I don't really put that in a random playlist. Um so I have Dance Monkey by Tones and I have The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. I think there is one that is objectively better, and it is clearly Dance Monkey, but I digress. Um, no. All I can say is that if this is the number one song, we've had some trials and tribulations, much like we've had throughout this entire year, but there was a silver lining to the end of the rainbow, and I think that paints a pretty good picture for 2021. Either
I'm
that or
actually a
we all
little
fucking
worried about
die.
2021's music because 2020 was a great year for rock and metal releases, which if you haven't seen my video on the top releases of 2020, go ahead and watch that because there's a lot of really good music that came out this year. But that makes me think 2021 is going to suck because that's usually the trend.
Yeah, like usually the trend is like if an overall year is bad, then the next year is somewhat better. Like that's sort of what happened with 2016. Like, yeah, 2016, like we elected Donald Trump, David Bowie died, Lemmy died, but by 2017 we were just numb to it, I think. So it didn't leave as much of an impact as
That's what's going to
2016.
happen in 2021. We're going to have a new fucking virus that breaks out. 100 million people are going to die. And we're just going to be like, yeah,
I'm
slap him.
already numb to this COVID thing. I don't even fucking care.
It's going to be called Vovik. That's the
It's
new
gonna be
virus.
called COVID-20, the COVIDing.
The COVID name. COVID strikes back.
The COVID strikes back. Return of the COVID. The phantom of the COVID. The COVID awakens.
Do you think they've made porn parodies of COVID yet? They probably have, right?
Probably.
Oh god.
Terminal 19.
Sexually transmitted COVID.
ST Dovid.
Oh god.
COVID.
Yeah, so that's been the
No, no,
top
no, no,
video
no,
round.
no, no, no. I have one final thought.
Oh,
COVID
no.
69.
Johnny Cash is a terrible singer. Bye.
Bye.